Hey, my name is Ohad, and if you're watching this video, you are most likely interested in CSGO, or rather attracted to the old concept of so-called investing in video games. But have you ever wondered what investing really means? We all probably heard about the stock market before, you might even know someone who invests their money in the stock market. But just the fact you put your money into something makes it an investment? The whole idea of putting your money into something with the expectations to see returns has been around for quite some time now. However, it's no longer a secret that in recent years, people found many alternatives to make money quote-unquote passively, whether if it's through cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, or maybe even the Steam community market. Now I know that some people might be a little bit skeptical about it, well, because when you think about games like CSGO and the Steam community market, you rarely think about people that have huge amounts of money. And all I can tell is that I've been around for quite some time now. I heard and saw many things happening that are based on real big money in Steam. And this is definitely not a joke. I will even share with you one of many stories about it. However, it wasn't always like that, and I would argue that in 2017 this whole movement began to catch up. And ever since we began to see many clickbaiting videos under the premise of making money by investing in CSGO. And straight up, this is 99% of the time wrong, in my opinion. Today I will tell you why, and I would also like to talk to you just a little bit about cryptocurrency and share with you a cool story that happened to some guy I know about Bitcoin and CSGO. This is a real story and it happened about 3 years ago. Now before we start, I won't be a hypocrite. Even I use this term through my different videos because I understand this is the playground in which I'm playing at, and I don't have the influence just yet to change that. But at the same token, I feel like I need to put things in their place and try to clear things up. I'm not sure if I'm even right about it, but you know, I have this image in my mind that many young people who are watching that kind of content getting easily influenced by it, because who doesn't want to play video games and make money? And now they are like thinking that they are investing their money and they know what they are doing, and let's be honest, I talk to many people and some of you just say complete nonsense. If you just mindlessly listen to all those pieces of advice you can find online, that at times can be so diverse, without filtering it, many of you will lose, and honestly I don't want any of you to be discouraged by it, because I lose money too, and more importantly to even think that you are investing in the first place. After all, that's not what it is, and if you will ever get into the stock market world, you will understand that your whole terminology and way of looking at things won't help you that much. I don't watch any other YouTubers, but you tell me how many of them are actually talking about their failures and when they lost money by doing dumb things. Or maybe not even about CSGO, just talking about the bad stuff. I bet there aren't many of those. People fronting with their successes, and you know what, that's totally fine, I'm not trying to diss on anybody. But you gotta know how to think for yourself and form your own opinion out of all those different voices you hear around, including mine. I know that this whole video can get a little bit controversial, so obviously this is just my point of view and I would love to hear what you guys think. So what is investing? In my opinion, the true meaning of investing is to put your money into something that is creating value. Considering this as the most basic requirement out of investment, virtual items like in-game skins or cryptocurrencies cannot be a true investment, simply because there is no underlying value. They don't produce any cash on their own, there is no reward just by holding on to them, and when you invest in something, you don't care that much about the price, because you understand there is a greater value that you are getting for your buck. That there is a legitimate business behind a piece of paper that produces stable and recurring cash flow. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. So for example, when people come up to me and ask if their new op skin or case is a good investment. No, let's start by the fact that this is not an investment. You just bought something with the idea in mind that at some point, someone else would be willing to pay more than what you originally paid for it. And that brings us to the second term called speculation. 99% of what's been called investment in CSGO is actually a speculation. Speculation is stating a prediction that some random occurrence will happen that will affect your item's price so you can profit out of it. So going back to our last example, the same goes here for those open cases. You're pretty much wishfully hoping that their price would increase, rather if it's because you assume it will go out of the active draw pool in the next couple of months, or that for some reason people would like to pay more for your skin. In both scenarios, you're just speculating that something will happen that will turn things in your favor. And when you really think about it, the same goes for cryptocurrency. By the end of the day, when you buy a coin, whatever that coin may be, there are so many of those, the only way you can profit out of it is if someone else will pay more than you did. And that's about it. With that being said, I do believe that there are smart speculations that can exist. For me, the best example of that would be the major capsules. I know that I'm getting an item that most likely won't show up again in the future. I know that during the sale it's probably the cheapest I could buy it for. And I know that it has a lot to do with the pro scene in the game that keeps this entire thing bidding in the first place. Does it mean it's 100% safe? Not necessarily. However, I'm willing to take that chance because I understand it's a pretty good speculation right there that has shown success year after year for a very long time. And last but not least, gambling. Now I know this is an unpopular opinion that people don't like to hear for some reason, and I know it for a fact because a couple of weeks ago there was a similar conversation on Reddit and I thought that maybe I can just add a little bit to that conversation. So I just stated my opinion right there and people just got so mad about it with those downvotes. It was cold. Gambling means that regardless if you participate or not, the odds are already laid out and there is nothing you can do about it. And the best example for that would be trade-ups. I'm sure that we all know what trade-ups are, and if you don't, I think I also did a video about it, so feel free to check that out too. But what most people do, they just go on some random site and try to find a combination that will result in a good odd in their favor. But please, you tell me, isn't it better off to just go on some random betting site and do that instead? It will save you so much time to get the weapons, you'll probably get the same result, right? You will lose your money. And even the odds might be even better, you know, people just eating me up on those DMs and they're coming to me like, hey man, check the trade up, this is 33% chance to triple your money. Have you ever tried to run the math behind that thing? Like I can just do a coin flip that is 50% chance, it will be much easier for me to triple my money this way than by doing a 33% chance trade up. And people just don't think about it that much and it pisses me off at times. A quick disclaimer, I don't advise anyone to gamble, I think it's a very easy way to lose all your money and this is probably illegal too in your country, in most countries. So please try to stay out of it, this is just was for the demonstration. I almost forgot that I promised you a Bitcoin-CSGO story, so let's talk about it. I first heard this story about 3 years ago, back in 2018, but it really happened back in 2017 when Bitcoin peaked at about $50,000 at that time. The guy was my friend's friend, so I never really met him in person, but we were all the same age, which means back then we were 18 years old. So back in the early days of CSGO, before it really caught wide attention, trading was actually a thing that worked. People didn't lowball on every single trade and you could actually make a decent profit out of it. Our guy was a trader in CSGO for quite some time now, so we knew the craft, messing with knives and all that good shit. One day someone came up to him and asked if he would like to sell his skin for something called Bitcoin. At the time, Bitcoin wasn't really being talked about that much. When you think about that, only in 2017 that's the first time it really exploded. Before that, it may have sounded a bit sketchy to a lot of people. So he went on and researching that shit a little bit and decided to take the Bitcoin as a payment. As time went by, he decided to gather more and more Bitcoins, because shit. He realized that a lot of people messing around with it and it was quite convenient. I'm not sure how many of you actually remember those days, but there were a lot of bots that just trying to sell their CSGO keys for cryptocurrencies. It was quite common. Fast forward to 2017, that Bitcoin peaked at about $17,000. I'm not exactly sure about the numbers, but as far as I heard, the dude made about $500,000 in dollars at the age of 18, bought a nice car and kept some Bitcoins aside. GG, well played. Anyway, that's it for today. This video was a bit different than usual. I really tried to think about how I can make those videos just a little bit more interesting, and I hope I got it right. Would love to hear your feedback as always. Wish you a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.